Hello, this is Rich with Otter Tail Channel. I wanted to talk for a minute about the UAV Pilot Flight Simulator from Yuneec. This is the one right here, the guy with the pair of goggles and the little antenna on the side of his goggles. First thing you want to do is set up your remote control for an extra bird. So you already have the Q500 or the Q500 4K or the H, as a matter of fact, in your remote. You want to first, let me get this remote on so we can see what we're looking at. But I've already added an extra bird to my remote. As a matter of fact, I have three of them. I have one for my Seago 2 camera, I have one for the Seago 3 camera, and I have one for the simulator. So as we get started, if you go to Model Select, which is the bottom right, and hit OK, and then it'll come up with, you can click on the left side is New Model. That's where you click your new model, and you name it something like Simulator or whatever you want to use, but something other than the original name that you have there. So I'm going to hit the back key. Now, getting started on the UAV, the dongle. This is the Yuneec dongle. Very small, about $20 USD. And what you do is you start the program first. Then the program is going to ask you for the dongle. So we're going to go ahead and start the program. Okay, program starting up. It should come up with the screen. There we go. Please install the Yuneec USB receiver before starting the program. So I'm going to plug that in. Computer recognizes it, you can tell by the sound. Then we'll hit OK. Okay, now we have flight, model, scenery, radio, simulation, challenge, language, and a question mark. File, update. You can update your... I've never had an update available, so evidently you can't update this program. You can exit here. Here's your model. Here's where you want to select the model. This is going to be our next thing. Scenery. You select scenery. There's only one scenery that I know of. If someone knows of another, please let me know in the comment section. Radio. Here's the radio display. If you click on radio display, the radio, your remote control will show up down here on the bottom. It's kind of cool. Simulation. You can start a simulation. F4. Escape stops it. You can, here's your display mode. It tells you if you want full screen or window mode. I'm going to put it in window mode just because the recorder I'm using does not record in full screen. So I'm going to put it in window mode. And the wind, you can change the wind. If you click on wind, you see it 0.4 right now, both are at 110 degrees, the wind direction. You can change that wind around and make it lighter or heavier, and as you're flying, you want to get this wind heavier, and you can just change it, 1.0, so we just doubled the wind there. Challenge, box hover nose in, box hover rodeo. There's a box that shows up on your screen that you have to fly into and keep your quadcopter inside that box. It's really difficult to do. Here's your languages, and here's your info about the UAV pilot. Now, I have found that if you hit radio, there should be a bind to the bird. So first we want to select the model. Here's your models. Here's the Q500, the Q500 4K, and the Typhoon H. Mine is the Q500 4K, so I'll click on OK. Now, what I have found is that if I now close this program, exit out of it, and then go right straight back into it again, as it opens, we'll take a look at this radio tab. Now the radio says bind Yuneec USB receiver on it. Did you see what happened there? So we're going to go ahead and click on bind USB, the USB dongle. Please set the transmitter into bind mode and click OK. So here we go. Transmitter into bind mode. What we want to do is hit flight settings. There we go. Hit OK on flight settings. And way up top is bind mode. So we're going to click on bind. Now, we're going to click OK on the computer screen. There we go. Now it shows up SR24S_9498V version 1.03. I think that there's an update for my version. But let me click on that. And then you hit OK. And then hit OK on the screen. And now it says, in order to establish connection, return the transmitter's main screen by pressing the transmitter's back button twice. So we'll hit the transmitter's back button 2 times. Now we'll hit OK on the screen. Now it says the bind procedure has been completed successfully. So we'll hit OK. Now we'll watch what happens. Okay, so now what we've got is we've got the bird up and ready to go. We can pick up our remote control. And let me turn on radio and radio display. Now you'll see that the bird flies just exactly like the Q500 4K does. So let's lift her up. Okay, now the key is stick. On the left stick you have up, you have down, you have yaw left, yaw right. And then on the right stick you have forward, back, left, and right. Your camera buttons do not work. Your red button does move. You can put it in smart mode, see the green light on the back of the quad, or angle, or you can return to home and still return to home. So there you go. And now you just want to fly it just like you regularly fly your Yuneec Q500. And it's actually very responsive. Now one more thing I want to show you before I talk about something else real quick. One more thing I want to show you is right near where you take off. If you come back to where you take off, if you want to practice landing, there's a really cool compass. So let's go find that compass. I'm going to turn off the radio display so it's not. And you can fly straight into the camera. Okay. Now let me find the compass. There we go. There it is right there. And you can practice landing on this compass. Okay, one last thing that I wanted to talk about. When you crash, it does come up with a brand new screen. The bird is sitting there idling, ready for you to take off. The red button. I have heard people talk about this red button, and they say if your bird will not land, that you can hold that red button and for 1 second, which is a fallacy. You cannot hold the red button. Watch what happens when I hold the red button. I'm going to hold it, and it drops straight out of the sky when you do that. So the red button is not an option on the Q500 or the Q500 Plus or the Q500 4K. Hey, there we go. Thanks so very much for watching the video, and I hope that I was able to explain how to make the dongle work and a little bit about the Yuneec simulator. Have a really good day. Don't forget to hit like, don't forget to subscribe, and of course hit that notification bell.